My name is Johanna Castillo. I am a Dominican artist slash fashion designer. I enjoy creating out of everything that surrounds me, and I don't necessarily believe in labels, so I consider myself more like a maker rather than a specific designer because of my degree. So I think that everything that surrounds me or everything that actually bothers me or that I enjoy, I feel like I can create out of it. It doesn't matter the material, the medium, who's gonna see it, if it's a statement, if it's not a statement. Um, and I blindly believe in the need of making mistakes. I feel that we people, humans, creature, we need to be able to embrace the mistakes as we go because that's the way we can like learn, and that's the only way that we can actually make a change in any industry, not necessarily in the fashion industry. um, and what I've been working in my as my thesis has been how to with the question of how to bring people together through fashion and art, and thinking about that question in terms of what the society needs right now rather than thinking more about like fashion design as a problem solving field rather than thinking about it as like just creating garments for the sake of pretty things to show. So with this question in my head and like just researching and developing and like trying to find different ways of like create with people, I started to create this thing that I called picalo, and picalo in Spanish means to cut, and it stands for people innovatively co-creating with love as one. So the idea with this like philosophy behind Trepelito called Picalo is for us to think about creating art and think about like building communities. Think about the need of collaboration in every aspect. It doesn't matter if like the industry or like our everyday life. It's just to think about how we like the fact that we need people to be able to move, to create, and to give these people the same emphasis, to think about all of us as the same star, not one's a star, a group is following a leader or whatever. I've been focusing on the issues of the fashion industry in terms of the amount of waste that the industry has been creating because of how we are thinking about like the fast fashion industry today. And I've been like trying to take the waste of the industry and try to merge it with the amount of discrimination and like all these differences that are we as a society are living in today, and how and try to merge just like these two problems and see how me as a creative being can find like the solution for it. So I decided to call my brand Trapelito. Trapelito means in Spanish 3 strands of hair. Yeah, I do have 3. And the idea behind Trapelito is because like 2 years ago, I decided to cut my hair. I decided to cut the straightening hair that I used to have because of Western influences in Dominican Republic. And for me, cutting all of it was a moment of like embracing my roots and my own personality, and also it made me realize how I was just following like a tradition without following like this thing of like just straightening my hair without asking why I was doing that. And when I started like asking myself why I was doing that, and with that same ideology, I kept like, I guess, living my life asking why I'm doing what I'm doing every day, why I'm buying my clothes in this in this brand, why I'm even doing fashion design. And so when I started to think about why I'm doing fashion design, I decided that instead of just thinking about making pretty clothes, I want to think about how to bring people together through fashion or through the waste that the fashion is leaving behind. And so I think that is right now my driving force when creating and when thinking about fashion. And so out of this like creative communities or like creative encounters with people, I've been like focusing on like printmaking design, and just like also like thinking about how to repurpose other kind of materials that are not necessarily textile materials, such as like a screen or like interior design objects. And so out of thinking about how to bring people together, I decided to focus also in the fact that we need to create this safe zone, this safe space for people to be able to like have a voice, to feel that they're accepted, and to embrace themselves. I've been working on this, let's say, journal book, where I've been like showing first the main words that I want for Tripelito to be like the driving force, which are human experience, collaboration, awareness, and joy. And basically here you'll be able to see, which I'll upload, all the process from the beginning and like the workshops that I've been doing with the people. The fact that each workshop, it's like a different mood, a different demographic. The outcome is completely different, and this is just like one of the 2D examples. And the idea is that I first collected like fabric waste from the industry, and then this canvas is passed through every people in the table or in the chair, and then they start like adding each. They only have like 5 minutes to work, or like the time that they want, and then the piece grows in with the group. So the idea is to show how when we're collaborating, we need to let go a little bit to be able to learn from the people that surrounds us, and to be able to accept their own, like their different perspective, and also to hear and listen what they have to say, because sometimes we are just thinking about us and what we want to see rather than thinking in a collaborative way. And then the other idea that I've been working with is how to, instead of just thinking about making 2D outcomes in collaboration, also like this is like a miniature version or prototype that of something, of an object that can be also like made with people. So the way I've been thinking about it is me creating the wooden structure and the integrative loom for people to like add fabric waste to it. So right now this is just like a small prototype, but the idea is to be able to create this like functional pieces in like a bigger scale, and then like make performances, and just to see how people can feel like included directly in a project and have the credit for that, and at the end see how I like led my pieces out there and how they can grow with different like ideas, different like mindsets, different people, and yeah, and it's just like really focusing on the magic that happens when we let ourselves go and we believe in the other or in anybody that is next to us, to keep building and have this conversation. So yeah, that's a little bit of myself, of what I've been working on, my creative ideas, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.